This week in our school, we have celebrated neurodiversity. There are many different types of neurodiversity, but this week we focused on 4, and they are autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and dyspraxia. This week we have interviewed many different students who are neurodiverse, and our first speaker today is Carla, and she's going to be talking to us about her experience being autistic.
Hi, my name is Carla. I'm autistic, and I know some people think differently about people with autism, and there's this dumb stereotype that people with more severe autism won't be able to do stuff in life, which is not true, because autistic or not, you can still do stuff in life. And the stuff I find hard about autism is learning new subjects, meeting new people and feeling like they're judging me, and all that stuff in general. But the stuff I do find positive about it is that there are people there who support me and understand me.
Here we have Mia. She's going to be talking to us about her neurodiversity.
Hi, my name is Mia and I have dyscalculia. So that can really affect my daily life with time or even counting money or something like that. So ways that I overcome that is I make it easier for myself kind of thing. I time on my phone. Instead of the 24-hour clock, I'd have the 12-hour one because it helps me read time, because if it's the other way around I'd be there for ages counting. So that helps me. And counting money, it's good to have my calculator on my phone. That helps me as well because I'm literally just counting up with my fingers, so it really helps me. But and it's sometimes you're doing work. It's not that I'm not bothered to do it, because when you have dyscalculia, it's you're kind of sitting there what is this, and it takes time to kind of work it out. So it'd be really nice if everyone kind of understood that.
Now we're going to speak to Eva, who's in TY, and she's going to speak to us about her neurodiversities.
So, hi, my name is Aoife. I have 3 different neurodivergencies. I have dyslexia, dyspraxia, and dyscalculia. And some of the stuff I would struggle with would be my reading, my writing, and numbers, and then my sense of balance as well. Some things that I find really positive about this is I'm really good at speaking. I really like to speak, as I feel like I can illustrate my points better than writing them down and stuff like that. And then something that would really help me in learning is assistive technology. I use an iPad for all of my schoolwork, and then even just having a fidget toy to help me focus really helps me. I would say I've also become very strong as I've learned to overcome challenges, and if there's one thing I would like to come out of this week is just be more kind and more considerate about other people around you.
So now we're going to be talking with Sophie from second year, and she's going to talk about her experience of being neurodiverse.
Hi, my name is Sophie and I have dyslexia. One thing I'd like to say about my dyslexia is I have trouble with spelling and maths, so that my spelling can be really bad sometimes. But the pros of being dyslexic is I'm very creative, so art is a big thing for me, where I'm able to be very creative. And one thing for being dyslexic or neurodivergent is whenever they're trying to figure something out, it can take them longer. So just be more patient, or even if they ask if they need help, and just be a bit more patient when they're trying to figure stuff out, because their brain doesn't work as fast as others. So just be patient when they're trying to figure stuff out.
Hello, I'm Mr. Carroll and I'm dyslexic. So throughout my whole life up to about 4th year in secondary school, I was always quite ashamed of being dyslexic. I always found it very difficult to spell and to read. And it was only when I got into TY that I quickly realised that actually dyslexia is probably one of my biggest strengths. But that didn't happen overnight. That happened because loads of teachers believed in me and helped me. And then when I got a bit more senior and got a bit more grown up, I decided to become a teacher. And I decided one of the biggest reasons why I became a teacher was, to give back, to help people such as myself who have dyslexia and that are in secondary school or primary school who are struggling. Give them that little bit of support, but also most importantly, to find their strengths. And not always to see that dyslexia, while it does pose these challenges that you need to overcome, those gives you a massive amount of strengths. And to be able to do that and to be in a position where I can sort of take them strengths out of somebody that is not believing I think it's one of the best parts of my job, and I'm very proud to be dyslexic, and it is one of my greatest superpowers.
These aspects work in Mount Genevieve, but they can also work in many other classrooms. So if you see a student in your class that needs ear defenders or timers or fidgets or anything, let's work together to make sure that St. Paul's supports the learning of all students.
Behind me is a display that we've been preparing this week. The idea behind this display is that everybody will put their thumbprints onto the display, and then we'll be able to see how everybody's thumbprint is unique. That is because every single person in this world is unique and special in their own way. This is the same with our neurotypes. Everybody you meet will have a different neurotype, and it is very important to make sure that we understand everybody for who they are. This week we've been celebrating how everyone is unique in their own way, and this display will remind us that everybody, even though we are all different, we are all unique and we should all be accepted for who we are.
This year, St. Paul's set up our very first Diverse Minds team with both neurotypical and neurodivergent people. And this team looks at all the things that happen in school to make sure that they're inclusive and supportive of all people. And this week has been very successful.
So we are now bringing our Neurodiversity celebration to a close. I would just like to thank everyone for their attention this week and their support. We think the message of this week is so important, just to remember that everyone is unique, everybody learns differently, and let's all support one another to be able to achieve our very best. Thank you.